Today we're going to start working on dribbling with a basketball. So I say with a basketball, but really you can dribble with anything. I know that for me, this ball would work great, but I'd have to be outside, and right now it's way too cold. There's a lot of snow. The ground isn't very nice to be dribbling a basketball on. So I'm going to have to do this inside. So here are some other options. I might use a tennis ball or a ball that's inflated that has a lot of bounce to it. This one would work best, but this one is probably the most easiest one to find, the cheapest one you can probably get. Usually if it's this one here is actually a dog toy for my dogs, but it bounces really well. So I'm going to be using this one or this one today. So when I first start dribbling my ball that I'm going to use, I'm going to make sure that I push it down, and I really want to hit it with my finger pads. So that's the part that touch together when you go like this. A lot of people say fingertips, but it's not the tips of your finger, it's really the finger pads where you have fingerprints. So try to use that to push the ball down. The other thing that I need to do when I'm dribbling a ball is to make sure that I'm using my wrist and my elbow to move to push it down. The ball's going to come up, and I need to start pushing it back down before it starts to fall down on its own. Otherwise, I'll lose my dribble. So let's check it out. You might have noticed when I was dribbling, it was kind of bouncing more off to the side than right in front of me. So my goal is to usually have the ball bouncing off to the side a little bit, because if I'm moving while I'm dribbling, there's a good chance if it's in front of me, I might accidentally kick the ball. So off to the side works totally fine. Now, if you're really struggling and that's too difficult, try starting like this. Throw the ball down, 1, and catch. Then go to 2. 1, 2, catch. Then see if I can go to 3. 1, 2, 3. So if you want to keep doing that, you totally can. If this is really challenging for you, it is totally fine to stay right there and keep practicing this for 10 minutes. If you're ready to move on, what I would suggest you do is try switching the hand. So every other bounce, I'm switching which hand is pushing it down. So I'm getting used to both hands kind of helping that process. And again, my wrist and my elbow work together, and I'm really using my finger pads. So if you notice, my ball is bouncing straight up and down. If I'm doing really well with switching hands and I'm noticing up and down, try to make the ball bounce into the shape of a V. So one of the things that you can do if you've really not done a lot of dribbling before that might get your fingers ready to get used to pushing something away is try using a ball like this, and it doesn't have to be as bouncy this time, and just trying to push it back and forth but using your finger pads. And so I kind of want to play like hot potato between my hands and having it go back and forth. It doesn't have to be super fast, but try to only let it hit your fingers and finger pads mainly to do most of the pushing. So back and forth as quick as you can. If you need to slow it down, that's totally fine. If you want to speed it up after you got a little bit of practice, that's even better.